Physiology of the respiratory system. 1. Anatomy of the respiratory system. A. Upper respiratory tract nose. Warms, humidifies, and filters incoming air through ciliated epithelium. Pharynx. Pathway for air and food, divided into nasopharynx, oropharynx, and laryngopharynx. Larynx. Connects the pharynx to the trachea, contains the vocal cords for sound production. B. Lower respiratory tract trachea. Airway lined with ciliated epithelium to capture foreign particles. Bronchi and Bronchioles. Branches that carry air to the alveoli. Alveoli. Site of major gas exchange, surrounded by blood capillaries. C. Supporting structures. Diaphragm, main muscle of respiration. Intercostal muscles, helps enlarge or shrink the chest cavity. Pleura, membrane lining the lungs to minimize friction. 2. Respiratory mechanism. A. Pulmonary ventilation. Inspiration. Active, diaphragm and intercostal muscles contract, chest cavity enlarges. Intrapulmonary pressure decreases, air moves in. Expiration, passive, diaphragm and intercostal muscles relax, chest cavity shrinks, intrapulmonary pressure increases, air moves out. B. Pressure in breathing. Intrapleural pressure is lower than atmospheric pressure, keeping the lungs inflated. Alveolar pressure fluctuates during inspiration and expiration. C. Lung volumes and capacities. Tidal volume, VT. The air in one normal breath, approximately 500 milliliters. Residual volume, RV. The air remaining after a maximal expiration, approximately 1,200 milliliters. Lung vital capacity, VC. VT plus IRV plus CRV. Approximately 4,600 milliliters. 3. Gas exchange, external respiration, oxygen. O. Diffuses from the alveoli. PO approximately 100 millimeters of mercury. To the capillary blood, PO approximately 40 millimeters of mercury. Carbon dioxide, CO, diffuses from capillary blood, PCO approximately 45 millimeters of mercury. To the alveoli, PCO approximately 40 millimeters of mercury. Fick's law. The efficiency of gas diffusion depends on the surface area, membrane thickness, and partial pressure differences. 4. Gas transport in the blood. A. Oxygen transport 98% bound to hemoglobin, oxyhemoglobin. 2% dissolved in blood plasma. Oxygen release is influenced by pH, PCO, temperature, and 2,3 bpg, Bohr effect. B. Carbon dioxide transports 70% as bicarbonate ion, hydrogen carbonate. 20% bound to hemoglobin, carbaminohemoglobin. 10% dissolved in plasma. 5. Internal respiration tissue oxygenation. Oxygen is released from hemoglobin and diffuses into tissue cells for cellular respiration. Carbon dioxide removal. CO from cell metabolism diffuses into the capillaries to be transported back to the lungs. 6. Respiratory regulation. A control center in the brain medulla oblongata. DRG, dorsal respiratory group. Controls inspiration. VRG, ventral respiratory group, active during strong breathing. PONS, regulates breathing patterns, smooth or rhythmic. B. Chemoreceptor receptors central, in the medulla. Sensitive to PCO and pH of cerebrospinal fluid. Peripheral, in the carotid and aortic bodies, sensitive to decreased phosphorus dioxide. Circa influence of the autonomic nervous system sympathetic. Increases ventilation by dilating the bronchi. Parasympathetic, decreases ventilation by contracting the bronchi. 7. Relationship of respiration to other systems. A cardiovascular system. The pulmonary circulation carries blood for gas exchange in the lungs. Cardiac output affects the distribution of oxygen to the tissues. B. Excretory system. The kidneys help maintain acid-base balance by regulating bicarbonate ions and H ions. C. Musculoskeletal system. Respiratory muscles, diaphragm. Intercostal muscles play an important role in ventilation. 8. Respiratory system disorders and diseases. A. Asthma, narrowing of the bronchi due to inflammation or allergic reactions. Symptoms: shortness of breath, wheezing. B. Bronchitis, inflammation of the bronchi, usually due to infection or irritation. Symptoms: productive cough with excess phlegm. C. Emphysema, damage to the alveoli that causes decreased lung elasticity. Symptoms: difficulty exhaling, chronic shortness of breath. D. Pneumonia, infection that causes the alveoli to fill with fluid. Inhibiting gas exchange. Symptoms: fever, cough with phlegm, shortness of breath. E. Hypoxia, hypoxic hypoxia, lack of oxygen in the blood. Anemic hypoxia, lack of hemoglobin to carry oxygen. Stagnant hypoxia, impaired blood flow. Histotoxic hypoxia, cells cannot use oxygen even though it is available. F. COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Combination of chronic bronchitis and emphysema. Risk factors: smoking, air pollution. Symptoms: chronic cough, progressive shortness of breath.